Daddy Chino.
What's up, guys?
No cowboy hats today?
All right.
Only hats.
I
It
brought it.
looks to me like,
I left mine at my house in Montana, so
Just bring
I
it to
should have brought
Boston.
it.
we are live. We're live for 15 seconds. So, hello. I don't know if we have anybody. I think we have no one so far. No one is my best friend. So, what the hell? I just want to say hello and hopefully we'll get some on. But we're here today to talk a little bit about Community Camp 2024. We did a debrief last year after 2023, and people seem to enjoy it. So we're doing it again this year. And this year was a little bit unusual because last year getting there was no big whoop. Everybody just showed up. But we're going to start off with how the hell did you make it there? And, if you had an issue, I think this one's Justin. I don't know if anybody else did, but I know with Justin, before I left Chicago already, things were going wild. So Justin, talk to us about how you got to community camp, because this shows me how determined you are.
Well, Effie, first of all, and good to see all our friends in here, and thank you for being the conduit for this, right? Because I was part of it last year. That was great. And yeah, so thank you for getting everyone together.
You're welcome.
It doesn't happen enough, I should say. And that's all guilty. We're all guilty for that. So yeah, I mean, I know there was a lot of us. I don't know, maybe let's call it like 30%, 40%, 50% of us were all had some issue, I think. And I think pretty much if you were like Chicago East, we'll just say you probably had some experienced issues or you had some issues. But yeah, nothing really other than 2 hours before our flight was canceled. I know there's a little bit of reverb coming back from somewhere. But yeah, guys, 2 hours before cancellation, we're all geared up. I'm traveling, not just myself, but I had my whole family. So it was 4 of us. And the driver was coming, the whole thing, right? It's all set up. And then you got to pivot. So then it was, oh crap, like we have to be there. It doesn't help that our friend and our mentor and our friend Pace, said that we were going to do boats and Tuesdays boating and connect about boating. And there was 0 plans going into that Tuesday, but I just knew Tuesday was coming. And I knew because he texted me Sunday morning that he already had all the boats. So I'm like, oh, great. Well, we'll get there. I can boat Monday now. They were supposed to be there Tuesday. Great. We'll have an extra day of boating. So yeah, cancellation comes through. I'm like, screw it. We got to go west. I was researching and could not find a thing. I don't know if you guys saw any of it, but like tickets were going from like $1,200 to $20 to $3 to $9,000. I saw airline tickets, and we're not talking.
Everything was oversold,
bro, so bad. And then try to get 4 tickets. Like I can go hit an exit row, or I'll go somewhere in the middle. But I'm not putting little girls with strangers. So whatever. So it is what it is. But we said, let's just get west. So went up to Maine, hour and a half away. They had an airport that was open. They had an airline going to Chicago. And I said, great, 10:30 at night. We'll get to Chicago by midnight. I found a ticket from Minneapolis to Kalispell in the morning. I can be there by 10 a.m. No problem.
How? Because I needed to bridge a gap between Chicago and Minneapolis. Mm-hmm. So I get to Chicago at midnight. And 8 a.m. that next morning in Minneapolis, they had a flight to Kalispell. So I said, I got to bridge that gap somehow. So I said, we'll just fly in at midnight. We'll rent a car. I'll drive through the night to Minneapolis. It's 5.5 hours. I got like 7.5 there. I got some hours to spare. And we'll just hop on a flight. You found a car rental? No,
that was the problem.
So like,
we went all this way. And I'm like, a car is in a freaking... so fast forward, the story goes to 1 a.m., 1:30. I'm in downtown or I'm outside of O'Hare at a convenience store looking for a U-Haul van. And then I get stonewalled there. Out of state ID. They want a lease. They want a passport. They want something else. I'm like, first of all, I don't have a lease. I don't rent. And you want me to have my passport? I don't have a passport. I'm like, can I? And you want an employer? I don't have an employer. And they said, you can't be self-employed. I you not.
Wow.
You should go Pace. He's my employer.
So my wife and I stole a car and we went to Minneapolis.
That's what the cops were there for the other night.
Yeah, kind of. What we took is we ended up getting a zip car, and you're not supposed to leave. You're supposed to get a zip car and leave it where the zip cars are had. And I'm like, whatever that is, we'll just deal with it. And sure enough, when we get to Minneapolis that next morning, we knew we missed our flight, the whole thing. But we call them like, we need to put our tail between our legs. We need to call Zipcar and tell them, she turned on the waterworks, the whole thing. And, 2 kids and stuck. And they were like, we're going to charge you to come to have someone pick it up and get it. So I'm like, all right, it's a carrier charge. So it's probably going to cost $1,000 to like $700.
Wow.
And again, we got another rental. Don't think, when you type in rental, they want it back. So if you type that in Minneapolis, they're not coming. And I'm sorry for the long-winded story, guys, but it's like the little learning lessons, and like you just got to take the risk and just keep going. So we said, all right, at the very least, let's make sure that there's a budget or Avis where we found the car. Let's make sure there's one in Kalispell, because I think at that point it's sort of like the unwritten law that they want it back. It's frowned upon if you don't bring it back and you don't tell them. But at the end of the day, you can drop it off at another place. So we took the risk and did the same thing again, but just made sure we dropped it off at like a budget Avis. That's where we rented it from, and did the same thing. Rented a car, drove through the night, 17 hours. So all in all, it was like 24 hours. We made it there the next day, ready for the boats.
Wow.
That's
I don't
wild.
know if I complain about my travels because, my gosh, that was awesome.
Yeah.
You had it rough. I think that was a rough trip.
Yeah,
But,
our stories will not compare to your story. Justin.
All in all, like, could have been worse. And, but guys, like, that's sort of like, it's cool to have a lot of, I'll tell you, the support, from Meffy to Nita, and to, DJ and so many others in the community that were like almost supporting. I wasn't the only one.
I supported with a bump because I saw Katie's post and I'm like,
Yeah.
let's make it it visible.
Katie cried in the passenger seat, and it's no joke because of what you guys were all doing and what people were doing. It's no joke. And she's like, this is for real. Wow.
Yeah.
There are people who actually care. And this, like, DJ wanted to take us on a plane and all this.
Wow.
Like, Pace is writing us. What are you guys doing? I said, who do you know with a plane?
Wow.
That
is so
Grant
cool.
have done.
Now, we
anyway.
can never tell who's going to be invited for next year, but I wouldn't be surprised if you're there again next year. And I hope I am too. But the point is, I don't think you're going to be able to rent a car, bud. Your name is going to be plastered like wanted by the FBI. So you better get there early.
Next time, take an RV.
Next year, we got to rent.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Did anybody else have a crazy story on how they got there? Or was it pale compared to Justin? Because I think most people did.
I don't think anyone can top that story, Andy.
No, only my rebook of when I rebooked my flights, they booked me for January 24th rather than July 24th, and I didn't realize that until I was trying to check in at the airport on Alaskan Air and missed my flight. So that was about it.
Man, that's wild.
God, that's wild.
I
We
guess
lost our bags. I
even
got my
for next
bags
year.
on the last day of the trip. That was kind of eventful, traveling with 3 kids. But man,
Ooh.
your story, it sounds like chaos.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So I am going to give us a little shape, although you guys can talk, and discuss anything you'd like. I'm interested to think about, we saw a lot of things. I'm interested in key takeaways. So we're going to show some pictures, but also talk about key takeaways. So who would like to start? I'm going to start with Daddy Chino. Daddy, do you have a baby?
What's up, guys?
None that you know of? Chino, what was your main takeaway?
People that have the ability to ground things, such as Laura. That was their main takeaway. If it wasn't for Laura, if it wasn't for Katie Tuminowski, if it wasn't for Kristen, all of the people that would keep everything and everyone grounded, they were the main catalyst support everything that we did for the community. That was my key takeaway.
That's good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, who'd like to go next? Matt, do you want to go next?
Sure. I mean, I'll shoot. My wife and I had some massive takeaways listening to Heather Blankenship talk about, the importance of family and how really, truly, there is no great success outside of the home that would ever make up for a failure inside the home. And we both looked at each other, and my wife had goosebumps, and we right then and there committed, like, after 4 p.m. when the kids are home, no phones until they're in bed. So that was a moment for us. And it kind of continued and played off that throughout the entire week, and just sort of was really impactful in that message of really getting clear on putting family first. But yeah, I've got 2 other stories about two people in this Zoom right now, but I'll save that for later. But yeah, that was one of the big takeaways.
That was the
think,
main point they made about family. If you don't have your family, what do you have? And I was like, damn, come on, I'm trying to get to California and away from this grandbaby. So I was a little bit the opposite. Because I love her dearly, but she slows me down. But I really do like the fact that your wife and you are both on the same page, and that it gave you permission to turn that phone off. And that is really good.
I think some of the takeaways for me were, especially over at Pace's house, with the last nights, it felt. And everyone here has been to real estate events and been to conferences and so on, but there was nothing like that there. Just even like last year, it was like you're hanging out with your friends, family. It was hanging out, it wasn't just, this pod over here hanging out, this pod over there hanging out. It was a lot of intermingle. And, unfortunately I couldn't speak to Gabriella there. I wanted to talk to her, but there was, you're moving around talking to so many people. And it's not that you're talking to just random people. It's people that are out there in the community, being leaders, helping each other out, doing business with friends. That was one of my biggest takeaways from the event was you're not going to just meet random people. You're going there to hang out with friends and family.
Yes,
Well,
I will
man.
definitely. I will piggyback on what Adam said, and also Matt. I don't have a large family, so for me, Sub 2 and the community overall it feels like a family. And building relationships, deeper relationships in these circles feels so good. Feels like like you have a purpose, you have a family, you have like Justin said, like in the middle of Chicago, you have friends. You have people that are able to help you no matter where you are. I experienced one like that with a fix and flip that I did in Ohio, and I was able to find through a substitute student a great contractor and finish my fix and flip. With Adam, we were roomies in Las Vegas, in Puerto Rico, and we had such a great time together. I got to spend time with Effie and with Nita, and we stayed till 2 in the morning, sharing stories and help each other with advice on our paths. The last day with Chino and Kristen, oh my God, I completely loved that day. I'm like, I cannot even tell you how amazing it was. We had such a good time. We went to the park, we went to the roller coaster. We spent the day till midnight together. It just like, you cannot compare anything with the pleasure of building that relationship. I didn't get to talk to many people, but with the people that I talk to, I have a deeper relationship for sure.
Cool.
Yeah, I'd piggyback off that. I mean, we truly do belong to like a secondary family. And I had my 3 young kids with me. You guys might have seen me run around with like a chicken with the head cut off, just chasing around a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a almost 2-year-old. And, on the way home, they were like, that was really fun, Dad. You have a lot of friends. And they were just like pumping my wife and I up, with like reminiscing of the joyous feelings that we all got to experience together. It was that, especially that day at both Pace and Jerry's house, like pure ecstasy, and we all kind of knew each other, and then we're hugging each other and everything on top of this epic mountain. And I think it's amazing to see how many kids were there that were impacting, on such a monumental level. They'll be looking at these pictures in 5 or 10 years and be like, oh my gosh, they might not even remember that trip. So we'll have to do it again and again. But it's just amazing what we're able to do and bring the next generation to as well. It's amazing.
Definitely.
For sure, for sure. And talking about the next generation, I have to very quickly interject and say one of the funniest moments that I saw was Carolyn Kane. Carolyn Kane with a blowhorn in one hand and a itty bitty little child in the other.
Yeah.
And she was like tempted to use it like a gun, right? She scares me. But anyhow, she's like, whose child is this? Whose child is this? And I was looking at it and I was like, I think I know that child. But I couldn't figure out whoever child this is, you're in trouble with me. Everybody's looking to see who is it. And somebody said, that's Justin's child.
Oh,
And she just melted. She was like, oh.
Well, no, was that at Pace's house?
That was at Pace's house.
Oh, not that child. That was not mine.
That wasn't yours?
No, I think that was. I thought I heard that was Jordan's, but I could be wrong.
Justin has 2 girls.
Are you disowning your children?
No, but my daughter was with her on the mountain. But I was like, I actually saw a little blonde girl, and we were like, oh dang, like I felt bad for a hot second. Like that little girl is. I remember being that little kid in Kmart. I know that's a scary ass feeling. Years ago, right? And now that little kid's like lost. I'm like, damn, that sucks. But I remember that moment.
So it wasn't yours.
Wasn't mine. Sorry.
Well, then whoever's it was probably got SHIT from Caroline. Caroline was like, rah. And I don't blame her. But it was interesting how tender she was with that little child. How old was that little girl? Because I said somewhere between 2 and 3.
She looked about, I was going to say 4 years old, probably 3 or 4.
Justin, how old are your girls?
7 and 5.
7 and 5, yeah.
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 No. But yeah, I mean, but look at that, right? The little kid goes missing at that house, right? And a lot of us were there also to have alternative motives too, to be protectors in a way. And that was like the first community camp where we were the real camp counselors at that event. Mm-hmm. And we were brought in to like, if you see someone alone, talk to them. Mm-hmm. Don't, there's going to be people that are outside. And there was also a lot of Astro and some of Jerry's tribe and all that too, or whatever they are, the lizards. So, but like also at the same time, you see someone by themselves, talk to them, make sure they're okay. But the other thing was also that we don't talk about was be mindful of the families and people that are here and anyone who should not be here or needs to leave. Mm-hmm. And I think you guys will know what I mean by that. So that was that's sort of like the guards that we have to be as well. But you can have your kid go and like someone scoops it with a voice who's strong and is in good hands.
Yeah.
And Caroline took my daughter up the mountain the other day after that, whatever day it was, Saturday. And like for my wife to leave the kid like that, because she had one and I left, and then they went up and drank out of a stream and did their own thing. And she had a great experience with a strong woman. I thought that was pretty awesome. And that's something we don't do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I hear you. I hear you.
So beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Absolutely. I'm going to interject here with some pictures that I have asked for you guys to send in.
Daddy Chino, those aren't any nudies in there, right? The nudies?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so who sent this picture in?
That is me with so I had the privilege of running one of the boats. Mm-hmm. And the New Reach girls said, hey, we want to do the New Reach team said they want to do their own private little tour. Mm-hmm. So we did an event, and then Pace ended up saying, I'm coming. And he jumped off Jerry's boat and swam over to our boat.
Nice.
So,
it's very teeny. I'm sorry. I'm not sure how to make it bigger.
Absolutely. But that's just that's the support staff. And that's a lot of the folks that which I'm proud to say that they're getting more and more out there. And people, they have a face behind the support. But that's all the New Reach team. So pretty pumped for that.
Cool. Whoa. Did you guys just see that?
We did.
It was like an explosion. Okay. Whose is this? Is this also yours, Justin?
No, this is mine. I sent it just because of that, because I want to recognize the help that these beautiful girls are putting in all the time with all the events that we are going to, and
Yeah.
they exactly need to have a face to the name and to be recognized for everything they do to us for us. So
Exactly.
I just love them all of them. So yeah, I wanted to kind of bring them and highlight them.
Are we
I mean,
lucky?
it's amazing to see how, to meet the people behind the phones and behind the emails, because
Yes.
they have, I can only imagine, with all the strong personalities in the group and everybody they're working with, the conversations they have, and they must be applauded for what they do.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
And Saravi, Victoria, every time I text them, like right away they answer, they guide me through whatever I need help with. If Victoria texted me, I right away answer no matter what I do, even if I'm at work. When Victoria texted me, I'm answering. So I just love them. Yeah. And I
Yep.
appreciate them.
Awesome. Now, this is your family, Justin.
Yeah. Yep.
What a cool picture. I love it.
Love it.
Yeah. After the event, that was good. Or no, that was maybe, I don't know, Thursday, one of the early days, Tuesday. I don't know what date today is, guys, so forgive me.
Wednesday, Justin, Wednesday.
I don't even know. But yeah, it was a good little toss in there. Listen, he brought it all together. And as much as if we were a part of another community or not, it's still this is his dream.
Yep.
So we wouldn't be doing it without him. So
Yeah.
always paying tribute.
Very nice. And that's you guys out in the field.
That was it. Like, so fun time. I mean, when do you get to dress up as a bunch of goofballs, right? And I know we all did that. And that was
Yes.
that was the coolest part, where I was like, I don't dress up. I'm too cool for school. But then I slowly embraced it. And I was like, this is fun. And
Yeah.
and then Boston's gonna end up having like a
I was
kind of
about to say we're gonna have another opportunity.
cowboys and cowgirls like infiltrated in Boston.
And who's behind you here, bro?
Andrew Murray and Uncle Lanza and his wife Ann.
Nice.
So
Nice.
really good time to go. That was the quiet. Like those two are. Listen, they're a little bit older, right? And they're not down on the dock, mixing it up and barely getting the dock above water and doing all the crazy madness with everybody. And so they sat up on the top of this Jerry's porch. And at the end, I stopped, went up for 1 second. I'm like, Uncle Lanza, do you just want to go for a quick cruise like you two? And they were like, please.
Aw.
And we get to do a sunset, which the picture doesn't capture, but it was a cool little sunset cruise. And
It
we
does.
don't,
But I know what you mean. In real life, there's so much more.
Oh
Okay,
my God,
now
yes.
I'm not
These
good enough
pictures.
to be able to choose the order, so I'm just going to flip through some of these. I apologize. Oh, whoa. Okay. Sorry. I don't know why it goes so fast. Hang on. Whose picture is
Hey.
this? Chino
That's
or Matt?
mine. That's mine.
Matt.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Matt, had you met Chino before?
No, this is our first time meeting. So this was a special moment for Chino and I because, well, I don't want to lie. We did meet at Woody's on the Tuesday in the sweltering heat, waiting to get a shuttle to the lake. But we waited for about 2 hours, and then we let the families with the kids go, and we're like, you know what? Let's just head back to the hotel and get cleaned up for the shooting later on that night. But we did briefly meet, but we never got a chance to connect. So at Heather Blankenship's little RV presentation there the morning, we actually got to connect, and we really connected on a really deep level. At one point, I was in tears. Chino really, he was vulnerable about everything that he is doing in the community, what he does, how he feeds the homeless, how he houses them, and in a very deep, intimate level. He doesn't just provide housing; he's building a family environment for people who are unseen. And that really touched me. And he saw me for me, which I found very profound. So we had a really, really excellent connection. And I said, look, I'm connecting with you in a crazy way. And what you're doing really resonates with me because of how impactful you are in so many people's lives in the community. So whatever it is, in any kind of way, I want to help, and I want to donate money. I want to donate my time. I want to donate my resources with our coaching company. I said, I'll coach. I'll bring a person from each of your houses in, and give them our coaching program for free, so that they can coach and help people with their mindset, people who are coming off the streets. So it was a really special moment for me. And I know Chino,
Cool.
I mean, feel free to chime in that was one of my most like cherished moments.
Nice.
Bro, so I appreciate so much what you do, especially because what you're tackling with Spencer Bishop is actually one of the 4 stages of housing that I had already created, which is affordable housing.
Mm-hmm.
One of which in particular is a mobile home park, right? I'm going to share something with you guys that I have planned and, already got a group of operators to do this with me. So what you're doing is stage 3 of my 4 stages of housing, because soon the less fortunate will graduate. First, stage 1, which is the 90 days to 6 months program, right? Especially the young adults that were never wanted to be adopted by anyone. Right? Stage 2 is their independent living home, right? And then stage 3, once they want to work and then, provide for their family or significant other, they're going to need somewhere to go. But they still won't be able to afford or qualify because, they have a criminal background. They won't pass criminal background or 3 times the rent. That would be affordable housing. How your involvement would be in my journey, how we could collaborate, is I tap on your shoulder and like what I told you. I was like, bro, keep doing what you're doing. Because once I get to stage 3 housing, and I'm going to copy and paste in every major market in the nation, of course, with basis, guidance, and partnership, that, hey, bro, are you ready to do stage 3 housing with your mobile home park?
Nice.
Wow.
I would like to be part of that, Chino.
Wow. That is cool.
Very nice.
That is cool. Thank you. Oh, wow. We'll definitely have to get in on that. Wow. Oh, and this is a beautiful picture. We're with Matt. I don't know how these things come up.
Sure. Yeah, we can finish up with me. So, I mean, we're going to talk about Justin again. So Justin and I actually in this picture is Leah Murga. I don't know if you guys have connected with Leah. She's a dear friend of mine. We met at Squat Up. Leah is amazing. She is a phenomenal human being. She's my people. If you haven't connected with Leah, she is awesome. So Justin was there. I think Leah introduced us for the first time in person. And Justin and I get to talking. He finds out that I, like Effie, am Canadian. And he says, do you know a Kyle Buchanan? I said, yeah, I do, actually. Him and I have had a few really good calls. And he goes, man, he was on my team and he was awesome. But he fell off and he just kind of disappeared. And I said, let me take that on. Let me reach out. Let me light that fire. Let me get on a call with him. And I'm going to bring him back. And sure enough, I reach out to him. Like I got back and it was like a day or two later and I called him up and I'm like, listen, bro, what is going on? He's like, dude, I'm dying. I'm working 3 jobs. I'm working EMS. Like I'm a mess. I don't know. I need help. And I'm like, you're coming back. Like, dude, you left the community. You left the family. Like we need to bring you back in the fold. And he's like, oh, dude, he's like, I don't know if I can cold call anymore. He's like, I love Justin and being part of their team. I learned so much, but he's like, I want to go to the next level. I want to own assets. I'm like, dude, say no more. I will teach you how. I'm like, let's go. Let's start underwriting some deals. So,
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was really
Very
amazing.
Nice. Yeah.
Just because I met Justin in person and just because we connected, we were actually able to reach out to somebody who was in a bad place. And I said, look, I don't know if any of you have saw it today, but I'm like, you're going to do a reintro post because you need to reintroduce yourself. You need to get back into the community. You need to be back to giving to others. And we're going to get you going. We're going to get you, dude, we'll get you retired within a year. Let's go.
Wow.
So,
Matt.
Yeah, bro. Good.
That's
Thank you for that.
awesome.
And he reached out, did a group text. I knew you had done that because I got a message from him. And so props to you. And it's, it is, we thank you for allowing me to be vulnerable enough to even like bring it out there. And I talked about another community member in a light that is caring, right? We're not behind someone's back, bad mouthing. It's we're 2 humans genuinely caring about someone else. And then you took the action that like I was stonewalled I had given enough that I thought, I'm like, I given this kid enough. I care about him, but it's going to fall on deaf ears or whatever. And then Matt's like, I got it. I don't even think I had to say that. You did. And now
sometimes because you hear it in different voices.
Yeah. And our team and I, we collaborated a little bit today on, we touched base on it. Hey, what do we want to do about Kyle? How do we want to handle this? How do we want to get him back involved? And I think it's just like, come and hang out again. That's it.
Love it.
So,
love it. I love it. I love it.
Guys, I'm going to be the party pooper. I got a dip. Double booked. It's for sub 2 needs. So still for the community though.
All right. Okay.
Hey, love every one of you guys. Thank you so much. Effie, good job.
Thank you,
Justin.
See you guys around the next one.
You got it.
Bye, Justin.
Thanks.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye.
All right. This picture's mine. The natural beauty was just so incredible that, I couldn't help. Austin is the photographer in this group. He has such skill. But when you have nature like this, you have to be really asinine to blow it. So, I kind of got one. So I just love the area. And, Matt, I'm a dual citizen, by the way. And I often think that borders just can't change nature. Because this is, what, the Rockies look like. This is, Alberta. BC. It's just so gorgeous that I love the nature. Oh, and I guess that's me again. I don't know how these things, they must be coming up by name or something. The waterfalls were very pretty. I really enjoyed it. And everybody loved this goat. And I think he was like, yeah, I'm a cool one.
The goat.
Yeah, the goat. So
we were able to take pictures with the goat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so now I need to do this thing again, which I don't know how it works. So bear with me.
Should have named him Pace.
This is my, really. This is my picture also. And I brought this up because I stayed in the home with Gabby in Airbnb. There were 10 of us, and 9 were women, and 1 Jody Evans. And Jody Evans drives up with this.
From Utah, 16 hours.
Exactly.
Wow.
So he was, treating us with the upside down pineapple cakes. They're delicious.
Coconut flavored.
Coconut. Sorry. And also, I know he treated Pace and brought some into the group. And I wanted to meet him, so I was really open to having him there. But it does seem a little weird, 9 gals and 1 guy. But he really did.
He was perfect for our.
And how many bathrooms were in there?
About 5.
5 bathrooms. Okay.
Yeah, no, he had his own room and his own bathroom, so he's okay.
Okay. All right, that's a little bit better.
And do you know that he was driving almost, I think, more than Justin driving to pick up some of the ladies at different airports that got close to Kalispell, but not quite there. And he was constantly driving. I couldn't believe it. So that's why I included that picture.
Yeah.
All right.
He's an amazing human for sure.
He is. Why are we all going? Okay. I'm not very good at this. I apologize.
That's okay.
Oh, okay. So that's our group picture. Austin, you put this in. Let's talk.
Research a little bit.
Hey, what's up, guys? Sorry, I'm driving around. That was such an epic moment on top of that mountain. Had any of you guys been to that specific spot before?
No. That was my first time, and I was just mesmerized.
It's amazing. And, we just scratched the surface of that national park. There is so much of that park that is not accessible by road. And you can actually fly into Canada and drive down. I don't know how far, like if you guys took going to the Sun Road, which if you go to the next pictures I sent, Epi, they're over that ridge. So that's Logan's Pass where we were. And you go over that ridge and it takes you into the other half that's accessible by road. Yeah, by car.
I don't know what I'm doing.
These are fun. This just makes me want to go back to Montana.
Yeah. Heck
so
yeah.
You composed this, right?
Yeah, those were 3 photos from that going to the Sun Road up at Logan's Pass. It's just it's really hard to capture with the camera.
Yes.
And I was cautious about flying my drone because they can strip your FAA license. And I know I've done it. I shouldn't say this because this is going on the internet, but I might have gotten away with it once or twice before, but I didn't want to try to risk it again because they take the drone, they take the license. It's a pretty decent size fine that you would pay, but it's really hard to capture like the vastness of how big it is. You know, when you're driving up that road and you see how steep and how big those mountains are.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal place. It's
Right.
really incredible.
It really is, and yeah, I agree. It makes you feel small, and how
All your problems are insignificant, right? All
exactly.
those 10
Exactly.
problems we deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Okay, so let me see. Why am I not able to go any further? Okay, I'm going to do the worst thing I can do, which
There
is to actually figure out. Oh, good. It doesn't show up on there. Sorry, guys. Okay. Okay, can you? No, you can't see that. Okay, why?
No, the screen is not changed.
I know.
I don't mind the picture though, because it reminds me of Montana. Takes
Yeah.
me right back
With
there.
feet, man. Oh my god.
I
It
apologize.
talks to the soul.
I'm just not doing the job as I would like to. My apologies. It's the roadside. Hold on. Is there any way I can do it? No, that doesn't do it.
It looks
All
like
right, I need a lesson, and all I can say is that
Effie, you're doing great.
not
Yes.
really. But you know what can you say? I mean, if you say I do crappy, oops, Austin disappeared. I actually don't even know how to get back to where we were.
That's okay.
This is not good. Oh, where we go. All right, there we go. So, I wasn't going to include this because it's me, but I appreciate it because you make me look good.
That was a sweet moment, Effie. I was really happy that we got to meet and hug on this trip. We've been talking a lot.
I know. And do you see who's in the background?
Who is it?
Who's that? Himalaya?
Tiffany. No, it's Tiffany Chow,
Tiffany. Oh.
Tiffany Chow.
Nice.
who I adore.
Yeah.
So that's good. Chino,
Oh, I like this picture.
where's Chino?
Right here.
Here.
How did you do this, man? Is
So,
that a fluke
yeah,
of a light? It almost looks like there's a butterfly on Laura's thumb.
So going back to the first takeaway of this episode, right? If it wasn't for the people that have the ability to ground things, ground these strong personalities, such as high-level visionaries like Pace, these events would have never been possible,
Yeah.
right? Like I always want to highlight the people that are always behind the scene, like New Reach, right? Laura Morby, Katie Tuminowski, Kristen Gray, everyone that
Anne-Marie.
right, like everyone that's just making things happen for all of us so that we can enjoy our moment with each other. So when I saw that opportunity, when I saw Laura carrying Phil, I'm like, okay, this is my one chance. She's coming down, she's coming back down. I need to snap a photo with her and Phil. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take like a bunch of them, and then finally I got a Phil to smile, and then Laura was smiling at the same time. I was
Yes.
like, this is it. This is like the perfect moment. So
It is.
shout out to the ones that are keeping everyone and everything grounded. Thank you.
And you know, the thing about Phil is he looks very much like a little baby, which he is. But in this particular picture, we can envision him at 7, maybe even 14. You know, you captured the future of him. He looks, you know, like more than a baby. A baby, you know, is kind of lost in some ways. And I love that picture.
Yes, it is a gorgeous picture.
Personalities coming out of the photo.
Yes.
Yes.
Look
And
at his eyes
you can see he's going
and the
to
smile.
he's going to cause the girls problems for sure. Anyhow, so thank you for sharing that one.
Beautiful.
And who shared this one?
Oh, I sent that. That's Birdie. Do you guys know who Birdie Nixick is?
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
her.
Birdie's amazing. And I feel like that picture was like a good embodiment of like all of our experiences, just having fun on the back of a Clydesdale, mountains in the background.
and it's so birdy, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, she just is such a strong, gorgeous woman. And you look at the size of that horse. You know, I was like, I can't try to get on a horse.
And I was there where she found that dress at the downtown, and she runs up. You're not gonna believe what I just found. This is gonna stand out. And it was a wedding dress, right?
Yeah.
With the hat.
And it fits her,
The hat.
and it fits her personality.
Yes.
Totally. I love that girl.
100%.
Oh, now what was going on here, Gabriella? Were you trying to conquer this man or what? What's going on here?
I think this picture was Chino's, but
Yeah, I sent that picture in. So this is like after our community camp, 3-day camp, right? This is like afterwards, we all got together, whoever that we could gather, right? We just threw our own meetup, and then we just spent the whole day and night together. So I was like, you know what? Hey, let's do something silly. And then right after that, I had everyone recorded of thanking Pace. So
yes.
as soon as
Where is that?
I actually have my phone, and I texted to Pace. I told him, like, we love you, bro.
Nice.
That was super nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that's
was
a cool picture.
a magical
Sure.
day. I loved it. The
Oh, and that's
freestyle
our
day.
logo. And I wanted to talk about the logo a little bit because Pace puts quite a bit of thought into this. I
Mhm.
know that the Sasquatch on the skateboard is supposed to be New England, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And the spaceship, anyone know what that one's about?
Astro, ain't it?
Ah,
Astro,
got it.
yes.
Got it.
Yep.
Of course, that makes sense. And then there's the gator, and I don't know why.
Lizard.
Yeah.
And then we've got a couple of different things here. I love the fact that, of course, the
Pace sign.
sub 2 sign, but yeah, it's cool how he gives thought and that they're similar. Very nice. Oh, this was a funny picture. Who sent this? Because I took, I have this picture on my own camera too, but it came from one of you also.
I took that one. I probably texted it in.
Okay. Who was that?
I don't know. One of us.
Did they
I
hit
don't know.
Spencer. That's Spencer.
Spencer?
Yeah.
The sky is so incredible. Is this Pace? No.
No, I don't think
That's
so.
not Pace. No.
Okay. It's great fun. And you know that fence there? I lost my crew for a while. I didn't know where they were, but I had the car. So I couldn't, just leave. I had to climb under that fence. And then I climbed over the fence to get back on the other side because there were bushes in between, under and over. And when I finally got out of there, I was like, man, I'll never feel like an old woman again. I was amazed I didn't kill myself, but it looked pretty big to me, but it was fun. And all the people that brought the cars, Pace had told us not to bring cars, and he said, if you bring cars, we're going to be swinging for them.
Yes. Yes.
So he gave permission to whoever golfs to go for the cars.
And they sure enough parked right where everybody was sending the balls. But I wonder how many people actually got hit one.
I don't know, but that's funny. And it's a beautiful picture.
I
Beautiful.
think Jody's car survived.
Yeah.
And I sent this picture because it's such a gorgeous picture of the most amazing day.
That is
I had
cool.
so much fun with this group. After lunch, Effie, you went to the airport with Nita, and I joined Chino's gang,
Mhm.
and we just had a blast. And I wanted to send this picture in because it was such a great group, and I loved spending time with them and know them better. I wasn't in the picture because I was charging my phone. Me and a team were talking at the gazebo back at the beginning of the park, but I couldn't, not send this picture in. It's this.
Yeah, it
should
is
be
a really
framed.
cool picture. And, I had picked up a bunch of people from the airport, and I was happy to drive Nita in. But when I saw these pictures, I was like, made the wrong choice. No, I'm just kidding.
We're not gonna tell Nita.
Yeah. And who
Well,
sent this one in?
I didn't send it. Maybe Justin.
Possibly. Yeah, it's nice to see how they paired us up and how we went running off to try to find all these different things for the and
The
then we're back.
Scavenger's Hunt.
Yeah, and I think the others we have seen.
Yes.
Okay, so hold on, stop screen. Okay, thank you. Adam, your pictures aren't in there.
That's fine. They're on the Instagram.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I realize
here.
that when I try to do something like this, my limitations.
No, you're doing fine, Effie. Stop with the
You're
limitations.
doing amazing.
There are no limitations, just in your
Well,
mind, right?
the room for improvement. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So I'd like to find out before we go. We have about 10 minutes, a little more perhaps.
Mhm.
What was the biggest surprise for you, or the funniest moment? Could be a biggest surprise that you were not expecting, or a funny moment.
I had some funny moments. Do you guys meet Janice and her son Rich with the mustache, her 21-year-old son?
Yeah, they are
Oh
awesome.
my God. They are a riot. If you have not met
Cool.
Janice, what's her last name? Janice
Lucas.
Lucas.
I think it's
Lucas.
Lucas. Yeah,
Yes.
Janice Lucas. Jay Nice. She calls herself Jay Nasty. She is one of the funniest human beings. He was telling us that she'll record herself and drive around, but she narrates everything. And he showed us this video, and she's like on a bike. She's like, so I'm on my bike, and I'm at the beach, and I'm on my bike. Oh, wait, I already told you that. And like, we were in tears, and we're like, dude, you need to start a YouTube channel for Janice. It's so funny. They were all right. I loved meeting them.
Yeah, they were great.
Yeah.
I haven't met them, I don't think. So
I met Janice at the Owners Club, and then I saw her at the camp. Actually, Birdie and I, we did a photo shoot there, and Janice actually was the photographer. And me and Birdie, we had like a blast. But she was like commenting while she was taking pictures, and we were like cracking up. Yes, she's really cool.
I'm going to Austin next. Tell me a funny moment or a big surprise.
Oh man, the week was just full of both. I was surprised at, like the amount of, I guess, like just how everybody overcame changes together, and it just strengthened the bond that everybody felt, and hilarious moments. There were so many of them. Just all of us like, wow, okay, we lost our luggage, or they're still not here. How many airplanes do you have to get on to get here? And just having little kids around, it's just so funny to see their little brains working and talk to other kids and interact and watch them like grow up in front of you. They're realizing things and watching adults have conversations and then trying to emulate that. So, I mean, it was just endless laughter in our car. Just partially like, this is ridiculous. This is amazing. So awesome that we're here. And, it seemed like the world was pushing against everybody to be there, which made it that much more important that we were all there together,
Yes.
100%,
Totally
yeah.
agree with that. Okay, so Justin isn't here, but I would say because Chino, were you there last year?
I was there last year, yeah.
Okay, so would you agree that the biggest difference is that this year it felt more like a family because of the children and the fams, as opposed to a convention where last year was fun. We all got in there and we got to meet each other and we hustled everywhere we can, but we were like captive audience for so much more time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I believe
they had the
the
kids.
structure was different also, right?
Yeah, but they had the kids involved separately. Like they went cherry.
They went out. Yeah, they went out with Laura.
Yeah. But this year it just seemed like if you've got kids, they're there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also, like,
If I get in next year, I'm going to kidnap Sammy and bring her.
That would be fantastic. I'll help you.
I don't think
Or the auntie.
like I wanna insert something real quick that we're doing here in Vegas Sub too. We're all about family culture,
Mm-hmm.
right? And this is coming from Pace,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I'm so surprised that like leaders that have kids are not doing more family events. I think they should.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually something that what Pace is teaching us without saying those words.
Right.
He's social media. He's got Laura. He's got his kids. You see what I'm saying? So why are we not doing the same thing in our micro communities?
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think it's very important.
Yes, it is.
Involved. You know what I mean? Like now it's much more inclusive. We're not just meeting at any random bars. We're not just, having beers or cocktails. We're legit, like we're not hiring babysitters, right? We're not meeting our significant others anymore, right? So why not include everyone?
No, I agree with you, Chino.
I think
100%.
it's going that way.
Yeah,
Chino.
I think so because, for example, for summertime in Michigan, we did the picnic SAP2 meetups, and then we allowed everyone to bring the kids, whoever they want, and it felt like it's like a picnic with the family, and a little bit of real estate, a little bit of grilling, barbecuing, having a beer, and talking some real estate. Yeah, no, it totally was amazing. This past, I would say 3-4 meetups were only at the picnic. Yeah.
Adam, what was the funniest moment or the biggest surprise for you?
I guess the biggest surprise, not really funny moments, but the biggest surprise for me was everyone had such a hard time getting there. And, Kalispell is not the easiest place to get to, but you had so many people get there and you could not have told that anyone had a bad time. Anyone had trouble getting there. I mean, everyone just made the best of it, made the best of the time, and just enjoyed everybody's company. And that was very surprising because there was a lot of opportunity for people to be negative, but there was no negativity anywhere to be around.
No,
with so much negativity that was being that started being negative. So that was my biggest, that was what my biggest surprise was. I was like, because that it could have came a different way, but you would never have known anything different.
Yeah, you're totally right. I didn't hear anybody complaining.
Good.
Too busy having fun.
Yeah.
I'll jump in there, Effie. One last thing is my wife I brought my wife. We didn't bring our kids because we just, I thought my wife is coming to the first Sub2 event. I want her to experience it instead of having to be the mom and chase the kids. I wanted her to have that experience. Next year, we're bringing the kids, but it was an amazing experience for two things. Number one, like Adam said, everybody is so positive, so helpful, and tying into what Chino said, this community is a family, and she was blown away by everyone that she met at their kindness, their ability to give, their willingness to help. And she was just literally blown away. She's like, I am so happy that we're a part of this community. Yeah. So it was really, really a phenomenally impactful week for us.
Nice. Yes. Very nice. All right. Who hasn't said their funny times or special moments? There's a few.
I think for me, the special moments was spending time with you guys in the Airbnb, our 10 group of people in the Airbnb, because we ended up going to bed at the early hours in the morning, and also being at Pacey's house, being at Jerry's house, open for them to open their houses to us and received us so well. The things that we were able to do, the boat riding, oh my God, I had like a great experience, let's say. Quote marks, quotation marks. Yes, but I loved it anyway. I loved the horses, I loved the music, I just loved everything, everything. Even the last day where there wasn't anything set up, and then just got together and then we said, let's go here, let's go there, just like have fun together and just get to know each other better. And it's just like phenomenal connection.
It really was a great family. Hey guys, I got to jump. I absolutely love y'all. It was fun recapping this. I'm sorry I got to bail out early, guys.
We're going to find out anyhow. Thank you, Austin. Thank you for coming. I would like to share that I too, Gabriella, felt like being with everybody was key. And, I had met, Chino was at our mastermind, half of you guys, right? And I met Justin a number of times, and I was looking forward to meeting, Matt as a fellow Canadian, and Adam. You know what? I have this more than that, notes that need to go into my database. Your Zoom that we had, I had written notes. I write notes and, the Zoom is saved. And at the very top, it was like, you got to meet this guy. and I finally got to meet you. So that made me feel very, very good. So I loved it. But I thought one of the cutest moments was when I didn't see it in person. I think Laura was the one that posted, was, at the hoedown dance, the children. And Monday was dancing with the little boy. I'm not sure whose little boy. They were both the same.
He was Rinda's boy, I think.
Well, they were so cute. And the way she was, doing the little thing. And then she finally approached him, grabbed him, and picked him up and started carrying him. And he was like, okay, that's what we do. I loved it. I just loved it. You know, how they just were such a part of it. Very much.
Yeah.
So for those of you guys who weren't there, this is just an effort to kind of share a little bit and give you a flavor of what it's like. I'm glad he's having a second one in September. And I know nobody takes anything for granted. We're all keeping our fingers crossed that we'd be invited again. But thank you for being here. And you guys, thank you for sharing.
Thank you for having us.
you.
Sharing.
Thank you, Essie.
Okay,
You're
everyone.
amazing.
Bye.
Say bye.
Yes.
Bye.
See you.
Okay, you guys hang tight.